Hey, what's up guys? This is Ryan and this is a 6-month update on my recovery from a ruptured patellar tendon. I ruptured my patellar tendon just over 6 months ago. I had surgery 2 days from now will be 6 months. Been bringing out videos about once a week just to update on my progress. A lot of those videos I show my workouts and sort of the stuff I'm doing to try to get better. In this video, I'm just going to talk about where I'm at the 6-month mark in terms of the condition of my knee and my leg. How that affects me in my day-to-day life, some of the limitations that I still have, and then I'll talk about some of the things that I'm able to do and maybe compare those to what I was able to do prior to my injury, and maybe some of my goals going forward. So my knee itself is doing great. I don't really have pain in it unless a couple of different activities that I do will cause pain. I'll talk about those in a few minutes. But the swelling itself has gone down quite a bit. I don't know that it'll ever actually go to where it completely looks like my other knee. Just from some of the stuff that I've seen, online searching and in some of the groups and stuff. I don't actually care. I don't care if it looks the same as the other knee as long as it functions like I want it to function. Which I believe is something that I'll be able to do. My leg itself, anybody who's had this, you lose basically your quad just disappears. My quads are starting to come back. It's nowhere near the size of the other leg, but it's starting to show up, and I feel like I'm seeing some results there. As far as how my knee acts in day-to-day life, there's a lot of times when I just don't even think about it. So I'm walking, I'm driving, I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I don't think about it much. There are times when it's always on my mind. So I never walk up to a flight of stairs and don't think about it. So I have no problem going up and down stairs. But as soon as I'm coming up on a flight of stairs, it's on my brain. I'm setting up like, okay, I got to do this right. I sit down into a chair. I don't even think about it a lot of times when I sit down. When I stand up, then I'm thinking, oh, okay, I got to stand up. I don't just jump out of the chair, without second nature, without thinking about it. Same thing if I got to get down on ground level. Maybe I'm checking tire pressure or doing something like that. I'll walk up, I'll drop down into it. I don't even think that much. And then I'll usually bias onto my good leg and just kind of, I can sit there and do whatever. I don't even think about that a whole lot. But then when I go to stand up, usually I'm, oh, okay, I got to think about that as I stand up. So a lot of times it's not much of an inconvenience. There is a few times when I kind of run into it. But overall doing fantastic in that regard. As far as limitations and issues, one of the things I want to mention is stability. So I get a lot of questions about how stable my knee is. A lot of people have instability, or at least they feel like their knee's unstable. I've been probably for the last month and a half to 2 months, haven't really felt unstable. So at this point, my knee doesn't ever feel like it's going to give out. If I'm standing up on something tall and step down onto it, I don't have to think about that. It feels stable. I will say that leading up to that, some of it is mental. Some of it was me thinking, really having to worry about it, but maybe I didn't. And then it's just getting the strength back in your leg. So once you get the strength back, I feel like you'll have the stability. Sometimes you just got to push it a little bit and kind of see what you've got. So no issues with stability. I do have some pain anytime I do a deep squat with any kind of load on it. So if it's just my body weight, it's not a problem. But if I've got load, that's an issue. And that's why in my videos, you'll usually see me doing box squats. That is improving. I'm able to go a little deeper all the time. And so making big progress there. Anytime I do a leg extension with any kind of load, if it's just my leg, it's not a problem. Anytime I have load on it and it's in the deeper ranges of motion, I do have some discomfort, almost like some crunching underneath the kneecap, some discomfort there. Similarly, if I lay down on my back and bend my leg and extend it up into the air, I have a little bit of discomfort. And those things are getting better. I feel like they're getting better since I got my leg extension machine. Just working through that, it seems to be making progress. Those are the only kind of issues I have. I don't generally have issues otherwise. Not long ago, even as much as probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think I had a video where I talked about how I kind of overworked it, and I had about 4 days where I was was in some discomfort. I had what seemed like tightness in my knee. You know, I've done that a couple times in the last week and not had any of that, you know, lingering effects. And so I think it's improving there as far as what my knee can actually take. As far as some of my abilities versus what I could do prior to my injury, if you've seen my very first video, you know that I was dunking a basketball when it happened. So 6 months ago, right before I turned 46, I was able to dunk a basketball. I don't really know how high I could jump. You know, standing vertical was probably somewhere around 30 inches. Now, if I had to guess, just doing my box jumps, I'm probably about 20 inches. And so, you know, that's about 65%. So I feel good. And I might be able to do that more, but I'm a little hesitant to push that aspect of it, especially given that's how I injured my knee. But I am working that into my training and trying to make progress there. I showed you guys last week, I did a power clean at 195 pounds. You know, I've never been extremely strong at power cleans. I've done as much as 250 a few times. A lot of times my workouts prior to my injury would end at me, you know, hitting at 235. So 195 pounds is probably 80% of 235 or something like that. And so in those things, I feel like I've made huge progress. Doing a squat though, I mean, I can't even do a squat to depth. Whereas before, you know, I could do probably 380 pounds all the way to where my butt's as far down as it goes. And so to only really be able to do my body weight at that level is difficult. I think once I get past the discomfort in the joint itself, which does seem to be improving day by day, I could probably start making some progress there. And then, you know, a lot of times I take my kid to shoot hoops. I'll take him out. I'm mostly just getting rebounds and feeding him the ball so he can get up a bunch of shots. I've noticed that, you know, if the ball bounces off the rim and I got to make a quick cut to go get it, I'm able to do that. That's coming back real well. Whereas before I'd have to let it just bounce off and tell my son to go get his own rebound. So running and moving around, that stuff's starting to feel good. I don't go on any long runs. I think if I was to go out and run for a few miles, I'd probably just the pounding itself would probably take its toll. I could go out and probably do it for a shorter period of time. But I haven't really pushed it, and I don't actually like to run to begin with. If I was going to do anything, I'd do sprints. 6 month mark, I'm going to call this halfway. There's a lot of people who will tell you it's longer than a year. My doctor told me it should take a year. I personally know 2 guys who've had this injury. Both of them told me a year, and I should be recovered. And so I know a lot of people have a longer recovery than that. If you do have a longer recovery than that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just feel like I'm a good halfway into this. There's a couple things I'm trying to get past now, and if I can get past those, I feel like I can make a pretty strong recovery, and hopefully by a year, be back to where I want to be. So that's a 6 month update. That's where I'm at. If you've been watching my videos, I can't thank you enough. If you want to keep watching them, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or just comments, leave a comment. I'll try to respond if I can. Been trying to. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon.